On the Gulf of Aden, a quiet transformation is underway. The Port of Berbera, once a Cold War footnote, is now drawing the Pentagon's gaze. This isn't by chance. As global threats multiply, the US is rethinking its strategy, moving away from vulnerable, crowded bases to more agile, distributed hubs. Berbera's rise is a story of opportunity meeting foresight. Major investment by DP World has turned it into a modern deep-water port, with a vital corridor stretching into Ethiopia. For the US military, Berbera offers flexibility and resilience, qualities that fortress-like bases can no longer guarantee. The Pentagon's interest isn't just about docking ships, it's about reshaping its entire regional posture. This pivot signals a broader evolution, from static bases to a nimble network of logistical anchors. In an era of long-range threats and great power rivalry, Berbera's quiet emergence is a proactive move to ensure US power projection remains effective. The groundwork laid in Berbera is more than infrastructure. It's a strategic bet on the future of American influence in the Horn of Africa. For years, Djibouti's Camp Lemonnier was the linchpin of US operations in Africa and the Middle East. Its location at the Red Sea's gateway made it indispensable, but success brought new problems. Djibouti is now a bazaar of bases, hosting not just the US, but France, Italy, Japan, and China, whose naval base sits uncomfortably close. This proximity breeds friction and security risks, while the port of Darala's commercial congestion creates logistical bottlenecks. Military cargo competes with Ethiopia's trade, slowing deployments and raising the stakes in a crisis. Djibouti's geography funnels all traffic through narrow waters, creating choke points and delays. The Pentagon now sees relying solely on Djibouti as a strategic gamble, one that's no longer tenable in today's crowded, contested environment. The search for alternatives is not just prudent, it's essential for maintaining operational freedom. Berbera's transformation is dramatic. Once a modest harbor, it's now a world-class deep-water port, thanks to a partnership between Somaliland and DP World. Extensive dredging, a new quay, and towering cranes allow Berbera to handle the world's largest container ships. Modern container yards and digital systems have slashed turnaround times, making logistics faster and more reliable. For the military, this means rapid offloading and staging of equipment on a scale previously unimaginable here. Berbera is also the anchor of the Berbera Corridor, a new road network linking the port directly to Ethiopia. This corridor gives Ethiopia a vital alternative to Djibouti, diversifying trade and boosting regional security. For the US, it's a gateway to the African interior, enabling support deep into the continent. The port's commercial upgrades have created a dual-use asset, equally valuable to shipping lines and military planners. Berbera's integrated logistics system is now a strategic prize in a region hungry for reliable, high-capacity hubs. Berbera's geography is its ace. Unlike Djibouti, it sits directly on the Gulf of Aden, offering immediate access to open sea lanes. Naval deployments from Berbera avoid the choke points and congestion that slow operations in Djibouti. Its proximity to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a choke point for 12% of global trade, makes it ideal for securing vital shipping routes. From Berbera, US forces can rapidly respond to piracy, smuggling, or threats to maritime security. The ongoing conflict with Iran and regional instability have made control of these waters more critical than ever. Berbera's location, just southeast of Djibouti, offers a cleaner, more direct line for operations. It's close enough to matter, but far enough from Djibouti's congestion to provide a real operational edge. This combination of open sea access and strategic proximity is why Berbera is now a top Pentagon priority. Berbera's value skyrockets thanks to its unique pairing, a modern port beside one of Africa's longest runways. The 4,140-meter airstrip, a Cold War relic upgraded by NASA, can handle the largest US military aircraft. This rare co-location of port and airfield creates a seamless logistics hub, where sea and air power converge. Supplies can move from ship to plane in hours, enabling rapid deployment deep into Africa or the Middle East. The Runway supports ISR aircraft, providing real-time surveillance over critical waterways. This synergy forms a security bubble around the Bab el-Mandeb, enhancing deterrence and response. In a crisis, troops and equipment can arrive simultaneously, ready for action in record time. Berbera's integrated sea air hub is a force multiplier the Pentagon can't afford to ignore. The Pentagon's interest in Berbera isn't about abandoning Djibouti, it's about building redundancy. Camp Lemonnier remains vital, but over-reliance on a single base is a vulnerability. By developing Berbera, the US gains a backup hub, ensuring operations continue even if Djibouti is compromised. This shift reflects a new doctrine: distributed, resilient networks, instead of monolithic bases. Multiple, mutually reinforcing locations make the logistics chain tougher to disrupt. Berbera and Djibouti offer complementary strengths: one established, one agile, and uncongested. Using both lets commanders tailor support to each mission's needs. This isn't retreat, it's a forward-looking move to ensure US staying power in a volatile region. Redundancy is now a strategic necessity, not a luxury. Berbera's rise is part of a bigger shift, the Pentagon's new doctrine of resilience through distribution. The era of massed forces at single, secure bases is over. Today's threats demand adaptability and redundancy. Concentrated power is a tempting target. A single crisis can cripple operations. By spreading its footprint to places like Berbera, the US creates a web of nodes. If one fails, others compensate. This approach is global, from Africa to the Indo-Pacific, complicating adversaries' plans and boosting US endurance. Berbera is the latest example of this doctrine in action, making the US presence less brittle and more sustainable. In a prolonged crisis, distributed logistics are decisive. The Pentagon's quiet move toward Berbera marks a fundamental shift in how it projects and sustains power. The Pentagon's reassessment of the Horn of Africa is driven by escalating regional crises. In 2026, the US is locked in Operation Epic Fury against Iran, with the Middle East in turmoil. Securing chokepoints like Bab el-Mandeb is now a top priority, as US forces in Djibouti face new risks from nearby Chinese and Iranian proxies. In this tense environment, dispersing forces to less predictable locations like Berbera is critical for survival. Berbera's open sea access and distance from Djibouti's congestion make it a safer, more flexible option. Diplomatic shifts, like Israel's recognition of Somaliland, have pulled Berbera deeper into the region's strategic vortex. The need for resilient logistics has never been greater, as cascading crises force a rapid rethink of US posture. Berbera's emergence is a real-time response to a region on fire, an urgent adaptation to new dangers. Strategic shifts often begin with cranes and concrete, not headlines. Berbera's transformation is a visible sign of changing priorities, where commercial upgrades double as military assets. What began as a trade project for Ethiopia and Somaliland now anchors US power in a critical corridor. Investments in connectivity reshape the geopolitical map, creating new opportunities and competition. Berbera's new terminals aren't just for goods, they're for projecting influence and presence. The US is pivoting to flexible, dual-use infrastructure, avoiding the baggage of massive permanent bases. The rise of Berbera redraws the map of power in the Horn of Africa, challenging Djibouti's dominance. The cranes of Berbera signal not just a shift in logistics, but the dawn of a new era in the great game for regional influence.